And we are back at the Thanks for Sharing podcast. We are brought to you by Dan Rouse at Cherry Hill Mitsubishi, KO Pest Control, KCD Construction, Pace roofing company for you, Hoover Delivery Service, ERT Restoration, Dudas Distro, J. Bo's Creations, Art History, Black Sparrow. No, not Kelsey Kool-Aid Art. Scratch that. Four Seasons Landscaping, Sharky's Barbershop, Artie Realty, Bone Marrow, Capital Adjustment, Santini's Grill, A Plus Insurance at Tyson and Caster, Ivy Innovations, Ghost with the Most Boutique, Crocus Landscaping, and Greek Tech. That's all.
That's all?
That's all.
There's like 20.
It keeps growing every day. Someone's like, why didn't you put my fucking business in there? Which I'm sure you'll plug it at some point. Like, hello.
Is that how they say it though? Why the fuck didn't you put my name in it?
Pretty much. That's how my buddy George was. He's like an electrician, and he's like, "Why don't I sponsor the thing?" I'm like, "Because money, dude." Exactly. I'm like, "I'll just do it. It's fine." Today we have Nicole Garcez. Garces.
Yeah,
Garcez.
You're doing great.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you could roll the R if you wanted to.
I'm not rolling the R. Nicole is, she's here. She was living in Texas.
Yeah, for the last 5 years.
Serving our country. Is it rude to do it with the left? You got to do it with the right,
it's
right?
It's definitely the right hand, but it's okay. You did great. It was.
It's whatever. You're out now.
It was so good.
Yeah. Someone was asking me. They were like, "What's she doing?" And I was like, "She does like fitness stuff, and I think she used to guard UFOs or something that she's probably not allowed to talk about. She had clearances."
You're so close. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you go on YouTube, they'll be like UFO spottings at Air Force installation.
Yeah.
And it like just goes to Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. That's where I was before Texas for 6 years. And it'd be like all these stories of airmen seeing UFOs and stuff. And then it was like present time. And I worked nights when I first got there.
Yeah.
I worked nights for like a year and a half, and it'd be a little scary.
Yeah.
And we had night vision goggles.
You're a believer?
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
100%. We had night vision goggles, so we could see, like terrorists, things like that. But
while we're on the subject of terrorists, let's look for some UFOs.
Right. There was thermal imagers too.
Yeah.
So you could see, if bodies are moving through the woods, and we would look through, and you would just see like whatever figure, and then it would just away.
Yeah.
And you can't just I'm like, what animal was that? It wasn't.
It wasn't an animal. It's aliens. My buddy Jeff is 100% on the alien train. And he just goes on. He's like, they're bulletproof. And I'm like, what? And he's like, there's just bullets don't affect them. I don't know if bulletproof's the word.
Bulletproof, I think, is just a simple, like their equipment, the aliens themselves, their like personality.
Yeah.
Everything about them is bulletproof. It's like we don't know anything about them.
We don't. And the government just announced over the quarantine, they were like, they're real, man. And everyone just skimmed over it.
Did you ever see The Fourth Kind?
What, with Mel Gibson? Is that no?
That's not Mel Gibson.
No, that's Signs.
It's based off of a true story, but the whole thing's fake. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's psychiatrists out in like Alaska, in this tiny little town that you have to be in Alaska and then take either boat or plane to, right? And all these people kept disappearing. And then the psychiatrist committed suicide, and he was the one treating all these people who kept going missing. There's definitely aliens and UFOs, but at the very end of the movie, they play all real footage from pilots and all the pilots, and it's the real transmissions of they're like, there's an unidentified aircraft, blah, blah, blah. And then the government, like you said, literally just was like, yeah, aliens are real.
Yeah.
And then the whole world was like talking about, I don't know if kids can have kitchen sets or not. I don't know.
Yeah, this is good. This is a good start. I'm excited for this podcast to finally get the credit it deserves and end up on a government watch list. And they're just like, these motherfuckers are spitting, dude.
And be like, Nicole, you signed this agreement before you left the military. You can't talk about certain things. They didn't say I couldn't talk about aliens, though. So
that's true.
We're good.
They should probably do that before you leave. Like, hey, listen, don't talk about aliens.
This podcast podcast is going to make that happen. All the people who didn't like me in the military, I say that like it's a lot, but
Yeah.
you know, they're going to have like
For all
a vengeance till this day. Like, look, she's talking to aliens.
For all my haters in the fucking armed services.
Fuck yeah. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, every day I'm at work, there's not a day where I don't think about you, because I work at Applebee's, the very same Applebee's that you were convinced you had a gift card
so
for.
Embarrassed already.
Yeah, you swore. This was so back when. This was.
I was 17, maybe. I'm 30 now. So I was like 13 years ago. I might have been 16. I met you when I was younger. I met you when I was in 10th grade.
Yeah.
So I was 15, 16.
Yeah. I'm old.
Damn. We doubled in age since then.
Yeah, we doubled in age.
Yeah, so don't judge me then, guys. I've changed since this story.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you were a young 16-year-old who liked smoking the weed. And
I still do like smoking the weed.
That's what's
so,
up.
you know
I
what
think
I'm
weed's
saying?
tight. As a member of AA, I probably shouldn't say that, but I have so many friends who were in AA, and now they just do weed.
I'm not a drinker at all. Like, even in high school, I didn't drink. I've always just been a stoner.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't smoke for 10 years, whatever. And now I can again, so whatever.
Yeah, it's all good. But I think weed's tight. But you were stoned, and you swore that you had a gift card for Applebee's, and you're like, lunch is on me, guys. And we got there, and the gift card was clearly for Fridays, and I was like, it looks like I'm paying for lunch, because no one had money. And I was like, this is sick. And now I work there.
I feel like this story is a life lesson about
Always check your gift cards.
yeah, just confirm.
Yeah, confirm.
What's it called? Trust but verify. That's like a motto in the military.
True.
So like my troops would be like, yeah, I did that task, and I'm like, I believe you, but I'm still gonna check.
Yeah, you have to.
But we didn't learn that lesson that day.
So I taught you that before you even enlisted.
You did.
To serve the country. So
you made my career what it was, probably.
So I'm not saying that I am not an American hero, but it's pretty apparent that I am an American.
We got so much food too.
Did we? I don't even remember it that well. I remember I wasn't even hungry. I just went.
I remember I was stoned, of course, and so I got like spinach and artichoke dip, probably a chocolate milkshake. Courtney was there too, right?
Courtney was there.
Yeah, she was definitely probably on the same wave as me. We got a lot of food.
Yeah, you guys got food. I just sat there and I was like, let's leave. And then
you paid for it because we didn't have any money.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much aware that I paid, and now they pay me.
That's
full circle.
What? That's wild.
Yeah, it was like I was destined to work there since that day.
That day, Look, it set up our futures. We didn't know.
I know.
Weird.
Yeah. You moved away, made something of yourself, and I just remained on a downhill slope of just going.
My mom and my brother, I was telling you, my mom was so excited that I was coming here.
She big fan of the show.
She is. She watches. She was so excited. She started reciting her lines.
Yeah, she was like
talking about specific episodes. She was smiling the whole time talking about it. And I was like, I was expecting her to be like, oh, I'm so excited for you for doing a podcast. It's like good for you and blah, blah, blah. But I was chopped liver. Yeah. And it was just all about Joe White.
My mom was the same way. I was like, Nicole's coming over. And she's like, oh my God.
It's so funny. And then it sparked like, oh, when's the last time I saw him? And I'm like, literally when I joined the military. Yeah. The first time I came home, the only time I really came home that year. And then I was like, that was so long ago.
Yeah, when did you enlist? When you were 18, right?
I was 20.
You were 20.
I remember
so you were like college. Old by their standards.
I went to college first. Bucks County.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember college. I was on drugs.
At Bucks County Community College? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about that. But I feel like I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought we just smoked weed, bro.
No, I got sober when I was 24. So, yeah, I was, I had to be on drugs before then.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And then I got...
Isn't it weird how the way we, remember the past is so different, and we were both at this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I recall, I'm like, oh, we were just at school.
Yeah, and I'm just like, time flies. It really does. Sometimes stuff feels like yesterday. My memory's, terrible with some stuff, just life events.
Yeah.
So to, think of anything before 24, I'm like, what?
Well, since I just moved back here, 2 months ago, and I'm driving around Bensalem and Levittown, but especially when I'm in Bensalem, I'll drive on a road or something that I haven't been driving on in 10 years since high school, you know, and just like unlock memories, like boom, that I didn't know I had,
And
just
you're
like
like, oh,
coming to,
shit.
even just like, I don't know. It's just, I went to a corner store on the way here, you know, to get us caffeine. And I pull in there, and this memory that I didn't even know of me, like driving someone's car without a license and just
I
like,
can't picture you driving. That was more shocking when you pulled up.
oh my goodness.
I
Because
don't think you drove when you
I,
lived here before you.
I got my license the year I joined the military, months before when I was 20. It was maybe that like October, November, and I left in February. I never had a, that's crazy. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. That sucked so bad.
What,
No.
not having a license?
Yeah, no, like a car or whatever.
I can't picture life without one because I'm just like and it doesn't even matter. Like people are offered to drive. I always want to drive because I like controlling my own.
I'm very much the Irish goodbye person. Always. I'm going to bounce when I want to.
See, I'm a big believer in the Irish, but there's usually like one person like, well, I will say bye to them, and it gets me trapped every time. And it's like I'm saying bye to everyone.
No, I'm like, I try. I just did this at a wedding. And my friend, the bride, her dad, who you know, I grew up with them too. So he saw me and he got me, and I was like, I told him, I was like, all right, I'm leaving. I'm not gonna not tell him because he's seeing me do it. And he was like, you're not gonna tell Megan goodbye. And I'm like, I didn't want to like interrupt her like dancing just to be like, I'm leaving. The bride, yeah.
She don't care
That's
that you
what
didn't
I
say
was
goodbye.
saying. I'm like, she's not gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, Nicole didn't say bye to me.
The best day of her life.
Yeah,
You're the center of it.
like no, absolutely not. But I did it anyway because he told me to. And even though I'm 30 years old, I'm still 14 years old at his house, like drinking milkshakes, you know.
Yeah.
Like so, I just like treat it's the same when I was talking to your mom.
Weddings are prime Irish goodbye because no one, you know, especially if it's someone in the wedding, you're just like, see ya.
One of my friends, she FaceTimed me, and they're all wasted at this point because I left before the reception was even gonna be over, and they're like, "When did you leave?" Blah blah blah. And they're like going to an after party, and I'm in my pajamas already in my house. This is like how like long ago I left that it took them to notice. So I was like, whatever. Yeah, weddings though.
Yeah, I gotta go to one in April. My best friend. I'm actually officiating it.
You are? That's cool.
Yeah.
Where is it at?
I have no idea.
I love that. Men and women with weddings. So if this was us,
I don't think he probably does know, but if I called him right now and asked him, been like, "Where's your wedding at?" He might not know. No. He might be like, "I don't know."
Yeah, no. I feel like by now I would have my dress already purchased and on the way at minimum. My like lash, hair appointment, and nails. And men literally like pull what they're gonna wear out of the closet 15 minutes before and don't care that it's wrinkled.
Yeah.
We're so different.
Last wedding I went to, I wear a pair of gray joggers and navy blue polo, and that was it. Called it a day.
Gray joggers, like sweatpant joggers.
No, like these. These
are
joggers.
Those are nice. You probably what shoes did you have on?
Air Maxes.
You probably looked nice. You've always had good. You know what?
I refuse to not wear sneakers.
You've always worn good shoes, though. I realized that when I walked in here today and I looked at your shoes, I was like, oh yeah, you've always had good shoes.
Yeah,
I forgot that about
you. It got a little more in the past couple of years because I just have extreme OCD, so I find the pair I like. So all my friends are like sneakerheads, and they're like, got these Off-White Jordans. I'm like, those look like fucking dog shit for $1,000. They look like dog shit for the price. But I'm not saying they're not cool. Maybe I'm just being poor and I'm like, and I'm being a hater. But
so is that like an OCD symptom when you like something you just buy?
Yeah, because I wear mostly Air Maxes, like Air Max 90. So I'll just buy that in like 7 different colors, and I'm just like,
I don't know.
Which is probably the same price as buying like a pair of Jordans. So I just make out.
Yeah, except that you can switch up your outfits. There's more creativity.
I have a whole sneaker room upstairs.
I love that you have a sneaker room. I didn't know that. That's so cool.
I'll show you when we're done this.
This is so cool. A sneaker room?
Yeah, I have a sneaker. Dude, 33-year-old man-child. That's what it's about. You have a sneaker room.
I'm very much about like when you find something you like though, like especially like a brand or something, and even if it's a little bit expensive. Just buy it.
Yeah, you gotta
I'm that way with sneakers for like the gym though, like nice training like shoes, and like they're a little bit more expensive. But I'm just like, I'm not gonna knock at them.
You want to be comfy.
Yeah.
You want to be comfy.
I don't know, and I feel I'm like, I just want to look good everywhere I go, so people don't know that in my brain it's not.
Yeah. Listen, my brain goes insane. Like I have a spot on these shoes that like no one can ever tell, and I'm like everyone knows.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you have a pimple. No one notices if you have a small pimple.
No one notices.
And you bring it to the attention of other people, and then they're like, "Oh my god!" And then they can't stop looking at it.
No, but that would drive me crazy in my head.
Yeah.
If I think that something's wrong with like my outfit or
Yeah, trust me, I'm a psycho. I get it.
He said I'm a psycho.
I get it.
I actually just saw a psychiatrist. What, yesterday? What day is today? Sunday?
Today's Sunday.
Yeah. On Friday.
I would say, yeah, Saturday.
Yeah.
They're not working.
And I don't think I've ever actually talked to just a psychiatrist. It's always been psychologists, you know? And it was like the driest conversation of my life, I think, because we were just trying to properly diagnose.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I already knew, like, I'm sad, girl. Who's not sad?
Yeah.
We all got a little depression. I already knew all this. But I kept thinking, like, oh, maybe I have OCD or something else because I'm a psychopath, you know?
Yeah, you probably do. You probably
Yeah. And so I'm trying my best to, and it's like you have 1 hour to share all the wildest shit about you and that goes on in your brain.
To prove to the stranger you're paying a bunch of money to be like, I'm a psycho, trust me.
Please tell me what it all is so we can handle this. I'm like, but I'm trying to like rock my brain for all the weird shit I do and stuff, and I'm like, it wasn't until I lived with someone else that things started to be like, oh wait, is that normal or isn't it?
Yeah.
My brother thinks I'm absolutely insane because at nighttime I want the lights on the outside of the house on. I lock all the doors. I probably check it a couple of times knowing that it's locked, which is why I thought maybe I have OCD. I don't
probably.
know. But then I was like, no, he's just not safe.
Yeah.
Where that's just what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, he don't care if someone breaks in. He does jujitsu. He welcomes it probably.
He's just so like, I don't know, and he's obsessed with the fact that like because I was in the military and like have knowledge and like know how to like handle like guns and whatever. I think he low-key in his head like he wants it to happen.
Yeah.
He wants me to like meet. I think he pictures in his head like this whole scenario, him coming to save the day with like a rear choke or whatever they do over there. I don't know.
Do you not have a gun anymore?
I do have a gun.
Do you sleep with it under your pillow like a complete psycho?
So no, because I do have a 3-year-old, and it's a way, but I can access it easily,
right.
But that's the difference between, once again, boys are so weird. It's like he would love for that to happen so I would get to use my gun to shoot someone in like self-defense in my home. He would like love that. And then like he comes in and chokes out the second guy or something. For me, I would rather none of that ever happen by locking my doors.
Yeah, just lock the doors 5 times.
And then I'm like, besides all that, I'm like, I have 3 dogs, and they might not ever attack somebody, but they're so loud and ridiculous that
3 dogs, triple lock the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see it.
Do you have a ring? The fucking doorbell thing with the camera? And you want one though.
I had cameras in Texas in my driveway, my front door, my doors. When you would slide them or open any window, it would beep. But I did have someone try to break in once.
In Texas?
In Texas.
See,
yes.
That's dumb to do it in Texas.
I had my gun.
Because people in Texas live for that exact reason. They're like, I've been waiting to shoot someone.
Texas. I was pregnant with my daughter, right?
Yeah.
And it was like in the middle of the night, my pit bull, who is probably the loudest and looks the meanest, but he's like a baby, but he sounds mean, right? He had this different bark, you know. I knew it was different. I was like, oh, something's wrong. And I was in like a night. I was like pregnant. I'm in a nightgown. I was like in a muumuu.
You're going 7 months strong.
Right. I had my military boots already like loose because that's what you do. So in the morning they're easier to put on. So I just put them on real quick and I grabbed my gun. And at the time I did sleep with my gun right next to me. I was always scared. And someone like popped off my what is it called? The screen. And Kingston was just relentless barking. And I just stood behind him in my combat boots, my muumuu, and my pistol. And I just stood there like, all right, if he comes through the door, I'm just gonna shoot him. And if not, hopefully Kingston scares him away. And then I got an alarm system.
Yeah. If I heard a dog, I would just be out.
Yeah.
You don't know.
You know. There was a show.
Unless I knew it was my dog, who is dumb. My dog will get stolen if there's ever a burglary here. He'll just like be like, pet me and take me with you.
I think the one who's gonna roll the hardest is my pug.
Yeah.
Because she's little, but she's getting old, so she's a little mean.
Yeah.
She would probably tug
Little
at their
dogs are
ankles.
kind of mean.
But she barely has any teeth anymore. She's cute.
What's the other
Whatever.
dog? So you got a pit bull, a pug, and then
A German Shepherd. So
Okay.
you don't want to.
yeah.
You ever like stay home from school when you were in like middle school, sick, and you watched some show you would have never watched otherwise?
The Price is Right. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched some show about ex-burglars. Is that the right word? So like they served all their time in like prison for like really robbing people, like big time things, and these fools got a TV show out of it. See, you can change your life at any. You just don't know.
Listen.
And what they did, it would be like, say me and you were the homeowners. We would sit here watching. They would put all these cameras in their house, and these two guys show them how they would rob their house completely empty in broad daylight. Pulled moving trucks up, and the neighbors were like, "Oh, I didn't know." Moved every single thing out of the house, and they were just shocked. And that's when but they said the number one deterrent would be if there were dogs, or a beware of dog sign, and that like most people, they're scared of the dogs and they wouldn't go.
Yeah, people don't want to mess with the dog. It's just what it is.
I'm scared of dogs till this day.
Are you?
Yes.
And you have 3?
Yeah,
What kind of psychopath therapeutic thing was that? It was just like conquering your fears?
No, I don't. I got bit in my face when I was 5. That's why I have this scar. And so I'm scared of dogs. And then the military, I don't know. I think working around canines changed my mind a little bit. Most of them being
3's a
German
lot.
Shepherds. It didn't you know what it's like? It's like when you think that like you're going to be married and have a kid and your little family for the rest of your life, and then like you get divorced, whatever, then you meet someone and they have like 2 kids, and all of a sudden you have like a family of 6.
Yeah.
That's what happened with my dogs, I think.
Yeah, you just inherited dogs.
I inherited one dog. That's fine. And then somehow in there, then there was there's a baby.
Yeah.
Now I have 3 dogs and a 3-year-old.
And you're like, you might as well just get another dog.
It doesn't, after 3, it does not matter.
Yeah.
And I have like the 2 types of dogs that shed so much. A German Shepherd and a pug.
Yeah.
There's hair everywhere all the time.
See, I love pugs, but they're too much like health-wise. Like my dog's probably a nightmare health-wise because I think they get bad backs after a couple years, and I'm just like.
Peaches is 8, right?
Are the eyes fucked up?
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
she's actually really healthy. And you know why? Because it's like I starve her. That's going to sound so bad.
Yeah,
but
fine.
no, really. I took her to the vet when she was little, and they were like, a pug only needs a quarter of a cup. So I feed her a quarter of a cup twice a day. So half a cup a whole day. They're like, one little treat to a pug is as giving them like 1,200 extra calories a day. Yeah. And so you have to give pugs carrots.
Yeah, this fucking monster upstairs could eat a whole loaf of bread and just not care.
That's my German Shepherd.
But he won't eat his food, which is annoying.
What kind of food is it? I don't know. I act like I know all this stuff about dogs, and in reality, it's like I have 3 and I understand them.
Yeah.
But other dogs, I'm just like, it's like having kids. You have to figure out why they're being picky. What's their diet?
I got accused of not being a dog person because my buddy Shane's dog is just fucking annoying, and people are like, "Oh, you just don't like dogs." I'm like, "Nah, his dog's annoying. That's what it is." And me and his wife were talking the other day because she like posted something like, "I want a corgi." I said, "No, you don't." Trust me. Everyone sees them online and they're like, "These dogs are great. They're cute." And I'm like, "They're so bad."
My brother gets super pissed off about my dogs, right? And he's like, he's doing it on purpose. He's just so annoying. I'm talking about my pit bull, right? So Chris has like middle child, like, whatever, middle child things. And my pit bull is actually the youngest, but he acts like the middle child. He's the only boy. Yeah. So my other dogs are girls. Then my daughter obviously is a girl. So, and then he's huge, but he thinks he's like a little baby. And yeah, it's annoying. And I'm like, you hate them. You just hate them. Yeah. But in reality, like, they're definitely annoying.
Yeah, they're all dogs are annoying. No. My dog's annoying. I love it to death. But most dogs are just annoying. Every dog does one annoying thing. And then I go on TikTok and I see people who are like, their dogs are like clicking buttons to talk. And I'm like, you have no life.
Do you know
if you're training your dog that well, you have no life.
Nothing makes you more annoyed of your dogs than having a kid, right? So like before I had my daughter, I had my dogs. I love like whatever, not my world, but they were my world.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing weird shit like giving them birthday parties or
Yeah.
like whatever, because that's just
We
like
took a birthday selfie.
I cannot.
That's all we did. We didn't give them a party.
Yeah, so I didn't do any of that. And then you have a kid and you're just like, I don't have time for anything that you guys need right now. And
Yeah.
it's like, then they start acting bad because they're not getting attention anymore. And then you just pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
Fucking man's best friend, dude. They're the worst. Dogs.
But then when they die, I'm going to be so sad.
Yeah.
Super, super sad.
I remember my first dog died when we were in high school and I was crying the whole day and someone made fun of me.
Damn. No,
like,
I'm not. My first dog died when
I was
in
like,
high
I hope
school
you get
too.
70 dogs and they all die and you cry.
My family pug growing up died, and when we were in high school, and I cried hard.
It's sad.
Like a week every night. I've had people in my life die and not cry as much as I did.
I've had a lot of people in my life die. And I'm just like, oh well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, at this point, it's a little used to it. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
That we're like used to people dying.
Yeah, I'm super used to it, especially just in the whole sober scene, because heroin kills someone at least once a week, and someone's like, I can't believe this one happened. I'm like, I mean, you can believe it.
I will never say when it comes to drug addiction or someone dying, like, oh, I can't believe this happened, like, blah, 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 ever, because it's like, we know it's still so sad, but like, yeah.
It's believable.
We have 3 options, right? Like, get sober, forever, go to jail, or die.
Yeah.
That's the only 3 things that are going to happen. So we can't act surprised when it happens.
Yeah, no, I don't act surprised.
I don't know.
But see, I'm lucky that I dealt with it, so I can say that to people. If people are like, that's a little insensitive, I'm like, is it? And maybe it is.
I don't know that insensitive is the word. I mean, we don't gotta, like, if someone just lost someone from heroin, we don't gotta be like, oh, well, we should have expected it, we don't have to say that, but we know in our head.
I remember, like, the first person I knew that died from drugs was, like, senior year of high school. And, like, at the time, we were all, like, been out of shit, like, it's fucked up, man. And then someone was like, why don't you just, like, tell him to stop? And which sounds so dumb and insensitive at the time. But now that I've been sober for 8 years, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. Just stop.
Yeah, just stop, stupid.
That's why I don't know what to do when people are, like, getting sober. They're like, I just really want to get high. I'm like, well, don't. I don't know what else to tell you. That's all it boils down to.
Yeah, really, you just can't today. Like, today, you just can't do that.
You just can't do it.
Yeah, I'm just, like, always, I don't know. It's so hard because it's, like, we obviously understand it a lot, right? Have never been an addict, but obviously I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty close to him for you.
Pretty close in, like, so many ways. But, I forget what I was going to say. I don't know. Oh, but because you know so much, you have to, like, pick. You're like, am I going to go down this, like, road of, like, talking about, like, all these things, or am I just going to be like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the route I take 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Unless I feel like talking some shit sometimes,
Yeah, we all want to talk shit sometimes.
It's like Facebook Facebook triggers me. I have to delete it for like 10 months last year.
Yeah, all social media triggers me. I sadly need it for like this and other comedy stuff, but I just hate it.
Yeah, but like Instagram, I will say, because obviously I use Instagram as my biggest marketing tool for everything. You can change your whole algorithm on there. I only see cool shit on my Instagram.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of time, but if you understand it, you have to stop liking anything that relates to shit you don't like to see. Unfollow people. I unfollow everyone, and it's not mean. It's not. It has nothing to do with that person. But I'm like, if I find myself being like a hating ass bitch looking at their stuff, I'm like, oh, it has nothing to do with them, and it has everything to do with whatever I got going on. So let me just unfollow them and give it a break. And then all of a sudden, if you go on my explore page, you're gonna see dogs.
That's what my
mom's shit, mom pages, stuff like that. It's a vibe. I have fun on my Instagram.
I feel like my Instagram, I never use I just stay on the timeline most of the time. Mm-hmm. Just recently I've been on the Explorer and it's all stuff I like.
So I don't go on the timeline. So it's
corgis and Nintendo stuff, and I'm just like, that's all I care about. I love that.
See, I don't go on the timeline, and it's just because I don't want, first of all, I don't want to waste the time, and then two, I don't want to be triggered or anything. And sometimes the way it's set up now, I'm like, I hope they don't I see a picture 2 days later, and then I like it, and I'm like, oh, they probably think I'm rude or something. I'm like, now I'm just on my explore page looking at cool shit.
Yeah.
Or Pinterest. I love Pinterest.
Yeah, I think too much about like what other people are doing. I'm like, what the fuck's this
No,
guy?
you
Yeah, and I
gotta, you
need to
gotta let
stop.
it go. You gotta really let that go. It's not, it's, and the thing too with social media is like everything you're consuming in your brain, like 5 hours later, even though you're not thinking about it, it's still stored somewhere.
Yeah,
So somewhere in your brain, that's already all like all this shit. You got that lingering, like causing other things, and no one has time for that.
yeah, no.
Nobody. But Facebook is just like a whole other.
Yeah, I lean towards on like when it comes to like marketing and promotion stuff because it's all. That's what I realized. Like Instagram's great if you're trying to reach like a super broad thing, but like since everything I'm doing is local right now, like I got the show coming up Friday. You guys should get tickets.
Yeah, you should.
You guys should
I'm
get
excited.
tickets.
My mom wants to go so
GCannon's gonna
bad.
be there.
GCannon.
She's gonna get a shout out.
Even though she has work in the morning, you can
Yeah,
make
it's at
it.
8. I don't know
She
if
was
I wrote
so-
it was at 10.
She was just nonstop hyping you up, and then she's like, 10 o'clock at night. I have to work in the morning. I'm like, Mom,
Yeah,
you'll be okay.
it's at 8, so it's not at
8
10.
p.m.
8 p.m. Yeah, Friday.
On December
10th.
December 10th.
Friday.
Friday.
This Friday coming up.
Shit, yeah. I'm gonna be in Texas, or else
That's all right.
I would be there,
Hey,
just laughing. LOL.
you got to LOL at some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like Facebook more for like just marketing because at least like 5 times a week, and I do a whole joke about flyers. Like people are like, "So what's going on? Let me know next time you're in." I'm like, "Here it is. This is the thing you've been asking for. Everything that you comment." And it's like, "Let me know the next time." I'm like, "This is it."
Yeah.
And here's a link, and then people will still call me that day and be like, "So where do I go and how do I get tickets?"
You have to learn that, like, well, I've learned this on Facebook. Nobody reads anything.
No.
Nothing. So you post an article, they're gonna read the headline, and that's the only thing. And like that's why TikTok is so famous. What is it, 6 seconds or
Yeah.
however many seconds?
You can do up to 3 minutes on TikTok.
You can. So I was
I try to do more TikToks.
I
I'm just
was-
lazy with TikTok.
I was learning about being a good supervisor in the middle. It was one of my last like professional developments, right? And it was more about like because now the generation that I was supervising is
Yeah.
Gen Z, and they're so different from us. The
Yeah.
way that we learn, it's disgusting.
They
Like,
fucking love TikTok.
they
I can tell you that.
exactly they love TikTok so much, but it's changing the way they learn. So the information, if you're not done in like 30 seconds, they're not taking it in.
Yeah.
It has to be like quick. So whatever I just like think about that when I'm trying to target them, if that's who I'm targeting, which
I'm
I'm normally
trying-
not, but
Speaking of changing algorithms, I'm trying to get my algorithm on TikTok to stuff I like. Because I don't want to see girls' assholes.
do you want to know something else?
Yeah.
I don't have TikTok, my guy.
Yeah.
I have
see?
one, but I don't go on it ever because I just no.
Well, I look at it because I'm a mentally ill person, and I'm like, these people are mentally ill, and they
Yes.
don't realize it,
Yes.
and they're making so much money.
so much money.
While I'm mentally ill
You
and
know-
not making any money.
Do you know how you change it? You have to start liking the things you like.
Yeah, I do. I
And the
like.
things you don't like, you don't interact with it. And then it stops showing you that kind of stuff.
I always like stuff with dogs. Usually music stuff, and then but I don't like anything that's a girl that's like, "Do you want to see my whole asshole on TikTok?" And I'm like, "No, not really."
I don't. It's,
You're a very pretty woman, but no, I don't want to see your
TikTok is
asshole.
such a wide variety of
Yeah.
like, there's recipes, there's mom stuff, there's all types of stuff, but there's such like misinformation on there too.
Yeah.
Like there will be like people like, like, here's something about psychology and why you're like this. And then someone hears that from a TikTok and makes that their personality. Like, oh, I have this wrong with me because I heard this
Yeah.
one TikTok ever. And I'm like, can you just go to therapy? Because that's not like, TikTok is not therapy.
No.
Just like,
That's you
TikTok-
talking to yourself in a phone. And
I
you're just
just-
like, "This is me. I'm doing it."
No, yeah. I'm like, this isn't TikTok. So yeah, I don't even use TikTok.
Good for you.
I'm very much just conscious of what I take in through social media. And I think people want to, like, when you use social media, like I post content, I share things, and I use all of that for like my website and everything. You would think I'm like always on social media, and I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like I use it for my tools, but I'm not.
Well, I
doing
feel like
other
the
stuff.
success you get off of that stuff is like what really matters, because I always have like people, like I know like people who've done very cool stuff like in the music industry, and they like always tell me, they help me out a lot with comedy, and they're like, "Listen, your likes and followers, it doesn't matter." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it gets discouraging." And they're like, "Just look at the numbers of what you're doing."
It's because
Because all I can do is compare myself. Like with this podcast, like I see how many people watch it because it's on YouTube. It tells
Yes.
everyone how many people watch it. So as long as it stays at a consistent number, I'm like, that's good, you know?
It's all about just like, then I would say I know for 100% fact it's consistency. It's posting every single day, making like having like a whatever, every Friday you do like a little thing, and that's like, whatever. But it really doesn't have anything to do, because I shared like a reel yesterday and it has like 1,500 watches when I looked,
Yeah.
right? And 12 people liked it, so but that helps me realize like, okay, they're just not, I don't like reels either a lot, because I just watch it and I keep going.
Yeah, I don't like that
But
Instagram keeps changing everything, because you could just post like a video normal, and now it's either a reel or Instagram TV.
is there no regular video? No, you're
Nah,
right, because you have
yeah.
to click it and then it goes
Because I used
over.
to post clips of this, and it would just be like, do you want the short version? Because it would cut it off at a minute for me instead of me editing it perfect to a minute. And now it's like you
Dang.
can put it on a reel, and I'm like, I guess I'll put it on a reel.
Yeah. It's hard keeping up, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
I'm big on, I just go to Google all the time. I'm like, how do I?
Yeah.
The other day I had a draft, a
I don't
real
think
draft,
anyone ever thought to Google how to
and I couldn't find it. I do it.
Instagram.
I go on YouTube. I use YouTube for everything. Ready? I like YouTubed how to change an ink. What is it called? Or sink garbage disposal.
Yeah.
I use YouTube for that. I use YouTube for
They got everything on there. They can teach you how
everything.
to change your oil. I'm
I'm
never
all
going to attempt to do it, but
No, never.
it's
That's
good to
one thing.
know.
Like the whole gender role thing, I'm all about like breaking glass ceilings and stuff, but also like no.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna take it somewhere, or like, I don't know, my brother can do it or something.
Yeah. Let men be men again, you know?
Yeah, just like not. I'm not. I'm very much like when men can do things. Like not everything, but like not
Yeah.
completely like suck.
Mm-hmm.
That was so broad.
Yeah.
That was so broad. I
Men
don't know.
suck. Everyone sucks, in all
Yeah.
fairness.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I brought you presents.
You bought me presents?
Yeah, do you want to see them?
Yeah. Brought.
Let's go.
You brought. You didn't bought.
Brought. Yeah, I brought. Let me
You brought.
verify it.
You can ask G Cannon that I don't know the difference between brought and bought, and she'll be like, yeah, I knew that already. Because that was an ongoing joke on this podcast.
And did I just mess it up, or are you just making it LOL?
No, I messed it up because I'm really literally dumb.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, what do you want? I think we should do this.
All right, let's do
All
it.
right, so my first collection that I ever put out was
Whole with Nicole, correct?
Whole with Nicole is my business. Yes, my name's Nicole, Whole with Nicole, because we want to be like talking about total wellness. So kind of like we were just talking about,
Here and here.
Yeah, baby, and here.
And
and
here.
here.
And as well as the heart.
Mind, body, soul, right? So
Okay.
that's kind of like how I was just kind of going on about what, like, changing what you intake on social media and stuff, because like we got to take care of our mind, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. So that first collection was Grow from the Dirt They Left You In.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just about a person, it's just an environment, work, anything, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're the only person that can do it. So we did sweaters. They sold out. Thanks everybody. With my first launch. So I did bring you, this is from my second collection that's not out yet.
You're also wearing it.
I am also wearing it. So it's the same thing that my sweater was, Grow from the Dirt They Left You In, but we got t-shirts now. So because I sold out of the sweaters, I brought you this. These are not out yet. You're the first person getting one. Are you so excited?
I am so excited. I am trendsetter.
There we go.
Couple roses. It says grow from the dirt they left you in.
And I just
I
think
actually like that.
that message,
Credo.
that message, that message goes pretty deep with however you gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then also, when we were talking about Instagram and stuff, you gotta write shit down. We're psychopaths, right?
Yeah.
You just gotta like get it out of your head. And I like firmly believe that the physical action of just like writing something out of your head lets it leave your brain. So this was just a little journal. I love her because she's just chilling,
I know.
meditate. I don't know. What do you see when you look at her? Just a little. Just
I just see a girl.
You
Is this
just see a
supposed to be like a
girl?
Rorschach test? Like, what more do you see?
Oh my God,
Like, I see my childhood.
I hate boys so much because this is such, once again, you're such aliens.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to see anything. She is just a girl. She's just chilling. No, I'm gonna go
Well, certain
back.
things I'm very just surface value. I don't know if that makes me dumb, but I'm just like, okay.
No, it doesn't make you dumb at all. She's chilling. I like her, but I just think that I know that writing things, lists, just getting things out of your head. So
Does the pen say anything, or is it just
no,
a
the
gray
pen. She's just on there. This was first collection things. We learning from them. That's the other thing with business too. You just learn so much. Now, are you a hat guy? You used to be a hat guy. I was thinking that unlocked.
I did used to be a hat guy.
You did, yes.
Yeah.
So I was putting everything together to bring here, and that was like a little unlocked memory. I was grabbing this hat, and I was like, wait, he used to be a hat guy. So this is also going to be in the next collection.
Oh.
Just some merch, and it's adjustable in the back. So I love the pink and red, and I think that it's gonna look so good on Boise. You can adjust it however you. Oh my God, it looks so good on you! I'm so excited already. Look at the camera.
Yeah.
Are you like the coolest?
Camera's there. You're looking at the laptop.
Look at yourself
You're
real
like,
quick.
look at that thing, so people will be like, yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me take a picture. Yay!
There we go.
That's gonna be in the next collection too. I like to do merchandise too, and just things that I think are pretty. I'm real big on, like, when I go to work out, like, I think we said this earlier, I like to look nice wherever I go.
Look presentable.
Even in the gym. I'm not just I can get ready quick and like get out of the house.
Have come a long way too.
I love gym.
Because I watch a lot of Seinfeld. Don't know if you're a Seinfeld fan.
I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. I can't believe you just said that.
The episode where they're trying to figure out if that girl has fake breasts.
I can't remember. Like, you have to give me more details. I might not remember. I've been rewatching it on Netflix right now. I follow their meme pages.
But they're always like working out at the gym in that episode, and like Elaine's wearing like a spandex like onesie, and I'm like, man, people wore that in the 90s. That wasn't even too long ago.
Do you know that right now in all of like the latest merchandise drops
that's coming back
of all these like fitness people I follow and wear, like, they make really great clothing. Like, who is Nike anymore to like Gymshark and like all those big businesses? They're making the one pieces. The 90s is fully back. I think there's one more thing in here I can't remember.
People do love the 90s.
So then here, this is also from the first collection. We had the cute little, she's just a girl on there.
What's in there though?
Is
it a bag?
It is. So let's pull it out. No, it's not a bag.
It's not a bag.
Okay, so the first thing you got in your hand, that's a cooling towel, right?
Okay.
So you just finish your workout, or maybe you're on the beach, or you're just somewhere hot. You put it in water, soak it in cold water, and then it stays cold. You wrap it around your head and your neck, whatever you gotta do. I also use it when I'm really big on germs. That's why I always think I have OCD too. Yeah. I'm so grossed out by germs.
At this point, I'm not going
to
diagnose you. Yeah, you have OCD. Just calm down.
I like to lay that down on like the floor if I'm putting my head down on like the mat or something. This that you're opening.
Trying to.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I know stuff. I know how to open stuff.
You're really doing a great job. That is a resistance band.
Ah.
I think it adds like 9 to 12 pounds. You look, just like that around your head.
Dude, I'm doing it right now.
You're doing so well.
Am I a fashion icon now?
I think you are.
I know. I should model.
You should.
This towel. I'm really rocking the
towel. The hat needs to go on top though, for sure.
Dude, is this Dipset?
There it is. I can't believe how that hat looks so good on you. I'm having like a moment right now.
Yeah.
It's like full like, oh shit, I did this product. It was hard.
Yeah.
It's like I put it on myself and I think I look cute, but I'm always going to hype myself up. Like,
well, I'm like a 7, arguably an 8, depending on the personality. So,
this is a great, this leads me to I'm so excited to ask you this.
It's me?
Yeah. So Pete Davidson, Kim Kardashian, funny guys up, like 10 points or what? What do you feel about that?
Me and Pete Davidson have the same birthday, which is a fun fact.
When is your birthday again?
November 16th.
I missed your birthday. Oh, yeah, because mine's January 16th. I'm a piece of shit about saying happy birthday.
That's all right.
Happy birthday. I'm so
Listen,
sorry.
I was talking about this. If someone does it on Facebook, I feel like you're just trying too hard. Not that I don't appreciate it. I'm sure some people genuinely mean it, but it's just like, When it
No.
pops up, I'll just text the person if
Yes.
it's that important to
If
me.
it's someone that, like, no.
Like
I
me and my
would
buddy
prefer-
Bri, I believe Bri's birthday's coming up. Shout out Dolan. He always texts me on my birthday. And
That's
I'm gonna
so
text him.
cute.
I think he's December something.
One of my friends, every year when I text and say happy birthday to him, the only text in our entire thread
It's just happy
is
birthday.
me and him back and forth happy birthday twice a year for like the last couple years. Nothing else. And I'm just like, it's a vibe. I like it.
That is a vibe.
It definitely
And there's
is.
like 6 people I have the same birthday with that I text them and I'm like, happy birthday. And that's pretty much our whole thing.
I'm bad at saying happy birthday.
But what, you Pete Davidson, Kim Kardashian, are you a big fan of that trend or?
Okay, so I'm gonna sound like such a pygmy girl right now.
Yeah.
I've always thought Pete Davidson was cute, like always have. It was back when he was with like Ariana, is who I really like learned about him and stuff. And of course he was just like, gave off like scumbag vibes.
Yeah.
He's funny, whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, he's so cute. And then I don't know. Kim Kardashian him, or is it even real? You think they're trying to
Nah, I think they're dating.
or do you think it's a Kris Jenner move so that it takes the heat off of Travis Scott and Astroworld?
Oh, maybe.
Whoa,
This, deep levels here.
it is. And then Tristan Thompson, that's the other sister's baby daddy. He just cheated on her again, and the woman's pregnant in Houston, Texas. And I'm
you really keep up with the Kardashians.
I've been watching them since they came out in 2009. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of people like Kim because you know why? Like the whole world hated on her, and now she's a mogul from a sex tape. And everyone's always like, I wish I could just do a sex tape and be famous. And like, you could do 5 sex tapes and you would never be that rich.
But
and
you
famous
could
as
also
you.
just do a sex tape and be famous. You know what I mean?
You could, like Jenna Jameson.
Yeah, that's what she does for a profession.
Well, and now she just owns.
Yeah, I think she owns.
Because she's like older. I watched like one VH1 like behind the scenes. Is that what it was called? Behind the music. But she didn't do music, so it must have just been like a special on her.
They were just.
And I was in like the 8th grade watching this thing about like Jenna Jameson, and I was like, damn, her life was fucked up. Like, she tore her braces off her teeth when she was like 16.
Why?
So she walked into a strip club and she wanted to work, and she needed money. She had a fucked up life, whatever. And the manager obviously sarcastically said, come back when you don't have braces anymore. So she was a little girl.
Them off like
so she went, yes, I love this. It ripped them off with pliers and went back the next day, and they let her work. And now here we are in life. She's like super famous, but
good for her. Some
I
people,
even read her book. I don't know.
Yeah.
She was cool.
Sometimes you just need to read a book and learn about these things.
I was like, it was just wild to see. I don't know. It was cool. I'm like, you're not gonna. It just takes. It's a type of person, right?
Yeah.
Not anyone can just have a sex tape and then.
That's true.
Now own porn companies, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know. Christy Mack. I follow her on Instagram. I never watched her porn in my life. I just like her as a business owner.
I get more concerned when people are just like, you don't know this porn star. And I'm just like, nah, I don't.
I don't. The only reason I think I know her is
Because she got her ass whooped.
No. Besides, you have to remember that when I was in the military, I worked in a security forces. The ratio of men to women would be like 100 men, 5 women.
Yeah, true.
So, and then my work shifts were like 14 hours long. So you can imagine the conversations I have sat through, witnessed, whatever I've learned.
Just guy talk.
Guy talk, and
I would kill myself.
And we're just flies on the wall. I think I disassociated my whole life, but that may have
I can't do guy talk. I was at an open mic doing comedy, and some dude I never met, he was another comedian on the thing, and it's like an open mic, so it's like everyone there's a comedian. There's no audience, you know what I mean? The audience is the other comedians, and I never met.
And you guys are just like going off each other, just wild and.
Well, I was outside smoking a cigarette, and he just came up to me, and he was like, "Yeah, I was crushing a lot of pussy this weekend," and I was like, "Excuse me, dude, never address me again." That's so weird. Not that I'm like the forefront of women's rights, but I'm just like, I can't believe you talk like that.
No, I think it's so inappropriate. I think it's disgusting. And I think more than anything, you don't ever talk that way in front of like women ever. I don't know. I grew up.
Well, it was just me and him, but I was like, that's
Still,
so
it's
weird.
I have four.
I was like, what makes you think I'm impressed by that?
All of my brothers never spoke like that in front of me growing up. So when I got in the military and like men did that, I was so. But then I also realized what type of person they are, and the men who never talked about their sex life, their wives, even they would never talk shit about their wives, nothing. I respected them so much because I knew right then and there they weren't a piece of shit. Like. Yeah. Even and then it made me always like if I'm like dating someone like my boyfriend, I was like, I feel like maybe this is a weird thing to address, but I was like, I just want to make sure that you're never talking about us at work. Yeah. Like, I mean, you can obviously talk about me like things, but like if we're fighting, like it's nobody's business. And if you ever brought up her sex life, I might choke you out. It's just so it's weird, right?
I just get awkward and goofy with that stuff. I would not want to talk about it to begin with.
No, and that guy coming up to you, I would have been so like, yuck. Yeah, that's what my daughter says. She says, "Ew, yuck. I don't like it."
I had to sit in a conversation with dudes who were just like, "Oh, damn, dude. Like, what was she like?" And my boy was like, "It was like a 5." And I'm like, "What?" Yeah, I'm like, "It was either a 10 or a 0. Grow up. You're not a stud, dude."
That's literally so disgusting.
Yeah.
I read something about like the exchange of energy when having sex, right? And so when you just like have one night stands or like whoever with everything, that's why everyone's so depressed because like you're not getting in return what you're supposed to like physically in your body, and
you're just filling the empty hole with it.
Literally an empty hole.
Yeah. Pretty sick. Am I Dipset now, dude? I feel like I'm Dipset.
You are. First of all, let's talk about
what, Dipset?
What do you want to talk about Dipset about?
I don't know. I just like that J. Cole album. No one's heard from Cameron in years other than that Versus where they blew it. But
you just brought up when we were talking about Seinfeld. Yeah. Like Wale did an entire album with Seinfeld. You know that, right?
Like with Jerry or just like
no,
beats,
I'm
like
using the
bass lines.
No, literally the scene, like the episodes and the sound and every single song. It's the album's called An Album About Nothing, I think it's called. I don't know, we might have to Google it. It's one of the best. I'll put you on to my favorite songs on there, and I'll never forget when it came out. This was like so long, it was years ago, and I was like, Wale and Seinfeld, this is the craziest like crossover episode I've ever seen in my life. And then it made me like Wale more because I was like, oh, you like Seinfeld? So that you had to be a certain type of person like Seinfeld, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, your humor.
When people don't like it, I just say that they don't like Jews, and that's what it is. I say, what's the word? I can't even think of the word right now. Anti-Semitic. I just accuse them, which is a serious accusation. So if someone's like, I don't like Seinfeld, I'm like, well, you're anti-Semitic, and that's fine.
I'm gonna use that now too.
Yeah.
No, I think that they're just not smart enough to get it. I'm so rude, but I just think that you're not smart enough to understand the level of jokes.
It's a very timeless show.
Yes, and there's just like so many layers to it. I just LOL at night. And because I have so much anxiety,
Do you not actually laugh? Do you just say LOL? I'm like, LOL.
No, I get.
That's an episode of Seinfeld where she doesn't laugh. She just says, that's so funny.
Doesn't she go like, too? Or no?
I forget, but I just know she keeps going, oh, that's so funny. It's like, why don't you just laugh at it?
It's on Netflix, and when I'm just like, oh, let me put something on TV, there's nothing else I want to put on besides Seinfeld, something I've seen a million times. Or like...
You sleep with the TV on?
Absolutely not. I don't even have a TV in my room.
Wow.
It's bad for you.
Come on. I can't do that.
We got to do better. I do have a sound machine, though. It's my daughter's, but I can hear it, and it's white noise. Maybe I'm more psycho.
No, I'm a psycho. I can't sleep without noise and the light. I just need something.
I have white noise.
To keep my mind away from thinking.
And
the less I think, the happier I am.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know. I wish, see, this is why drug addiction sucks, right? Because I'm always like, oh, weed would help that.
Yeah.
But like, you can't smoke because, you know.
Weed.
But do you believe that some people can, though?
Yeah, a couple of my boys do, and they seem super happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I believe that there's some people who can, and then there's some people who just absolutely
I just don't think I can, because I've tried, and it just, you know, and it just led back to Living Green another time, and I was just like, sick, I'm back at Living Green.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the move.
Shout out Living Green.
I don't know. Yeah, shout out Living Green.
Shout out Living Green.
I've been there a few times, not like myself, but because they hold those like family classes.
Yeah.
They're like, here's the dynamic of your family
Yeah.
with your drug addict, and widely, it was absolutely correct. I'm like, how did they just nail my whole family with? And it was like a general. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure like.
They picked you guys out there like, this is what you're doing.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was a good
Last time
time.
I was there, I was speaking to the patients because
Hmm.
they bring in outside meetings, and some dude I know was in there, and he's like, "What are you doing in here?" And I was like, "What are you doing?" And I feel like it's a better question. I get to leave, so I'm gonna ask you what you're doing because I didn't know this dude had a problem at all. I was like, "What?"
What? You know that meme when it's the Spider-Man and they're
Yeah,
both pointing
pointing
at
at
each
each
other?
other.
That was you too about like, what are you doing in here?
Yeah, I just.
That's funny. I was at this store with my brother the other day, and he's doing well. My oldest brother. That self-help place. What's it
Oh,
called?
he's at Self Help.
Yeah, he's
That's
been
down
there.
the street from where we used to shoot this. It's down the
So
street from here.
that's like the coolest shit ever, right? So I guess like all of a sudden Bucks County was like, oh, these people are just piece of shit human beings that have like mental health problems. And if we fix that, maybe they'll stop doing drugs. Like,
Yeah,
hello. We've been saying this
yeah.
shit for like 10 years. But anyway, that place is cool, I guess.
Self Help. It's a little
Yeah.
bit of a not the roughest stop. It's on. It's a little rough.
Over there?
Yeah, yeah, not it isn't. It
It's
isn't.
right behind Nottingham. That's a
Yeah,
funny.
that's a
That
LOL right
that's
there.
funny.
Yeah, that's so funny.
It's so funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
right
that's
by the
cool.
old hood.
I don't know. Yeah, it is right behind there. So I don't know.
Fun fact about Nottingham, it was when the Eagles were in the Super Bowl. So my buddy Zach, he was on the podcast. I know.
So what, 2017?
Yeah.
No, 2018.
So I had people over in this very basement watching it. My buddy Zach, who was on this podcast, very good guy, AA guy. He's actually engaged to Colleen
I know Colleen. Damn.
Masher.
Oh shit. Hey Carl.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Kyle was in this very basement, and she was like, when did you guys move here? I said, I lived here my whole life. And Colleen, me and her like never talked in high school. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not that we never talked, but it just, it was what it was. We met later in life in
Yeah.
AA. We knew each other before AA. And she was like, no, you lived in Nottingham. I said, I definitely did not live in Nottingham. I can tell you
were
that
there
much.
a lot though.
Yeah.
You were there a lot.
But she like denied that I didn't grow up in this house. I was
I
like,
love
Kyle, why would what?
I love when someone tries to tell you about like
Yeah.
your life and your timeline. I'm like, no, like I
Yeah.
forget a lot of shit, but this one thing, like I knew I grew up in this fucking house.
Yeah, I know that one. That one I'll get every time. But she was like, no, you grew up in Nottingham. I was like, I didn't grow up in
That's
Nottingham.
I actually had people telling me last night, like they're like, no, your mom grew up in Nottingham. I'm like, no, she didn't. I'm trying to like,
Yeah.
trust me, I know. And they're
Yeah.
like, no, she did. And I was like, okay, I didn't know what to do
Like,
anymore.
they know
So,
better about your
yeah,
family
I was
too.
just like, okay. I mean, probably. I feel like who really knows shit about their parents? Parents don't tell you anything.
Yeah, they don't.
And like, what's wild, even wilder, is the difference between like me as a parent. Like one day, my daughter could maybe look at my Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Whatever,
she
I don't
knows your
care,
whole life.
and just know some shit.
It's like my
Our
mom was sad on this day.
our my mom was going through it.
Yeah.
Like
April 15th, 2017, she was sad.
our parents can tell us whatever version of reality they want
Yeah.
from their
And we can't
lives.
escape it.
And we can't even figure it out either. What are we gonna do? Fact
Yeah.
check where? They didn't have
Exactly.
shit.
Now,
Damn. This is really messing me up right now.
Yeah.
I gotta start I don't know.
you got to start cleansing, you scrubbing your internet
Here,
history.
let me start writing my history in my journal and only give that to Sylvia and then delete my Instagram.
There you go.
Like in the old days when parents used to write their kids
She
letters.
can't find out shit about you.
Nothing.
She'll know by the time she's 6. She'll know everything because 6-year-olds are
She's-
just smarter now.
She's just so fucking smart right now. It's
Yeah.
disgusting. The whole like bribing thing or like, oh, we can do this tomorrow. She will open her eyes and be like,
I remember when you said,
are we going to Target or are we going to the whatever it is, the park, whatever. So, and I don't want to be that parent that like says things and then doesn't do it. So I have to be so
Target's an easy one though, because
I'm like-
everyone loves Target.
Yeah. She funny story about how I'm like raising she's spoiled and that's fine.
Yeah.
She's spoiled and I don't care. There's a difference between a spoiled brat and spoiled, but if like she wants something, she's just probably gonna have it.
Yeah.
So we went to Walmart recently. I don't go to Walmart a lot, not because I don't love it or the prices. It just I am so socially anxious. It's disgusting, and Walmart triggers it, right? But I put my daughter in the cart, and she goes, "Where am I supposed to put my phone?"
Yeah.
Because at Target, the carts are nicer,
wow.
and you can like mount your phone up on the thing, and it's like the cup
She has her
holder.
own
She says,
phone?
"No, my phone to
Oh,
watch
okay.
YouTube."
Yeah,
You
but
know.
she just taken.
Yeah, yeah, and I just let her vibe on my phone, and we're at Walmart, and she's like, "Where?" And I'm like, "You gotta hold it, girl. I don't like."
Yeah.
I don't, I
You're
don't
an
know.
adult now.
Yeah,
Hold
like,
it.
you just gotta hold it, and
Yeah.
she's just looking at me like, "What's up with the cart?" And then Giant, the food store, has cars.
They have a
Like
robot too, which
the
I don't trust that.
she was very sad. That robot, I was high in Giant.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had robots there because I just moved back, and I
Yeah,
turn over and the robot is right next to me and was died.
I hate going
What
to
does it
Giant.
do? I'm like,
I have no idea.
does it
My buddy
clean?
Corey went in there and fucking freaked the fuck out and was like, "Fuck," 'cause he's like very like.
Does it clean or does it help people?
I have,
All I've ever seen it do is literally just creepily move around.
I think that's all it does. Maybe it does. I'm sure it has a purpose.
I'm gonna have to
You think
Google.
Giant's just flexing? They got a robot. They're like, listen, we got a fucking robot.
They have a fucking robot, and then they have their carts outside for kids. They like transform it into a little car. So she has like a steering wheel when we're in Giant. So they kind of are flexing on everybody.
They are.
They got the carts. They got the robot.
I don't like going to grocery stores because I don't do the grocery shopping here for obvious reasons because I am a child. And but every time I go, it's like I'm craving cereal late at night, and it's like 1 a.m, and I always run into someone from AA that's in the fucking Giant, and I'm like in my pajama pants looking at like boxes of cereal. They're like, "Are you still sober?" And I'm like,
So funny.
no, I'm not. I just want fucking Cocoa Puffs. Get out of here.
That's what I was gonna tell you about my brother earlier. It's like no matter where we go, someone knows them. It's just a matter where do they know him from.
Yeah, true.
It's always gonna be like recovery or like
Yeah,
jail or some shit probably.
true.
And we're
That's
at
tough.
Giant, and the guy working there is like so excited to see him, and he's just like, "What's up, whatever." And in my head the whole time, I'm like, "Oh, I wonder how they know each other."
Yeah.
And as soon as I got a second, I'm like, "Where you know him from?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Recovery or whatever."
Yeah,
And I
from
was
the streets.
yeah, yeah. And I
Pretty
think
much.
they were, but it was so obvious that they were like both trying to figure out if the other one was sober or not.
Yeah, I wonder if people do that to me. I really don't care what they think, so I'm just like, whatever.
I mean, I'm sure people wonder, but I think
I've been
I
sober a long time though, so I don't think many people are like, unless I haven't seen them in forever. And they're
no,
like, "You
because
still
when
good?"
you guys were you just sober like once and forever after you like
No, I went to the living room 3 times. So I went to
in
rehab
like
3
the
times.
span of how long?
22 to 24.
Oh
So
shit.
like 2 years, maybe 21. I guess like 3 years. I went like once a year.
I don't know any of
Around the
these
same time of
things.
year.
Life was crazy the year I joined the military, and then everything at home changed
Yeah.
from like all of our friends. Obviously things changed, but like so I was just like didn't know shit about anything.
And now you're back. Now
I
you get to
know.
catch up on all the good times.
It is kind of cool. It's like weird. It's like good and bad. Not I wouldn't say bad, just challenging because I have to like process things. I guess I never processed in my life because I was like a kid, and now I'm like, that was a wild ass fucking
Yeah.
situation.
Now you're back and you're a grown
You know what I
woman.
mean? Yeah.
I do a joke on stage recently because I talk about Xanax on stage because it's funny. But I think I was with you, so I am reminded of you. But I remember we went to some girl's house and I took her dog, and I just left.
I was with you.
I think so. It makes sense that I was with you.
I didn't do Xanax though, but well, maybe.
No, I was
but
on Xanax. I don't know if anybody else was, but I remember I like took her like fucking little dog. I'll tell you who it was. I don't want to like just throw their name out.
Yeah.
Not that I think they'll care. It's not like I'm like they were on Xanax.
It would
No.
help me so much if I did know who it was though. Yeah, type it up because I would then remember.
It's not even like fucking a
That
thing where it's
deep,
like,
but-
yeah, I just took their
What
dog
did I
and
do?
then,
Call you and like, yo, come the fuck back?
No,
'Cause
I
that
just like
sounds-
left for a while. No one even knew I went.
Oh, and then you just came back with the dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna spell her last name very wrong.
This is so like.
I spelled
Oh my! I was just with her.
I only know that because, like, I think other than that, like, I've hung out with her like once or twice in my life.
Wow.
And
Oh
we were
my
in her
god.
backyard, and she had like a little floopy dog, and I just like picked it up and took it in the
Where
car for
was
a
it
little,
like
and I
a
came back, and no one even noticed.
was it like a that dog ate my phone and shit, so I probably
Yeah,
didn't give
fuck
a
that
fuck.
dog,
That
yeah.
dog, yeah, fuck that dog,
Yeah.
pissed me off. I remember I was like my first cell phone, my Nokia flip,
Yeah.
and it chewed my fucking antenna off.
Yeah, I just
I
drove
was
around with it for a little bit and came back with it under my arm, and she was like, "Did you take my dog?" I was
Were
like,
we
"Fuck
having like
yeah."
a little party?
I think it was like a summer thing. Like,
Yeah,
there was
I
people
remember
back.
I was wearing a denim skirt so early 2000s. I
Yeah,
love that
is
for
early
me.
that you knew
I
what you were wearing. I don't know if it was that night.
You know why? I have pictures from that night though. That's why
Was I
I
there?
remember. I'm trying to remember because it was like Nick, and so I'm starting to be like, yeah, you probably were.
I could have been there.
It was like I know Nick. It was some of her friends from like Ryan or from like somewhere else, and then only a couple of Ben Salem people.
Yeah.
But it was definitely that summer when we were all just that crew was wild.
Young and reckless.
Yeah, but like I didn't know. I feel so stupid. I'm like Xanax. Where
Yeah.
the fuck was I?
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I didn't know this.
I was killing it. That's all I know. We are at the end, my dear.
We made it already.
We made it. It was a pleasure having you out.
I appreciate it. I had so much fun.
She got a sitter for this, so you all better get this.
Yeah,
to a
you know
million
what I
views.
mean. I was like, I have to go work, baby. She didn't care because
Yeah.
she was going to the park with Uncle Quiz.
Uncle Quiz.
Uncle
He's
Quiz.
gonna teach her an armbar.
Yeah, at the park. Now today's lesson is how to strangle a wild animal that comes up to you
Yeah.
on a trail.
That's what she really needs to know. We're not in Texas anymore. There's no wild animals.
There's not, but there's deer here.
There are deer. All right. I'm ending this. Guys, it's been great.